So you want to make some money. Who doesn't? That's why I've put together 3 of my favorite side hustles for you. All 3 of these businesses can be started for relatively cheap, and you don't need to take a loan out or break the bank to do any of these, and you can start making a profit from them fast. So before we jump into this first one, make sure you leave a like on this video so your algorithm keeps suggesting content like this to you. Because if you're going to start any of these side hustles, you don't want to go into them blindly. And luckily for you, I make videos that go in depth to each of the topics that we're going to cover in this video so you can avoid the mistakes and start making a profit faster. So leave a like and subscribe, and let's jump into this first one. Most people completely overlook local services as a side hustle because they think you need a trade license, expensive equipment, or years of experience to get started. But the truth is, there are tons of services that you can offer right now with little to no startup costs, and the demand is always there. Think about it. Houses don't stop getting dirty, lawns keep growing, driveways keep getting stained, and gutters keep getting clogged. And most homeowners don't want to deal with any of this themselves. When I was in college, I knew a guy who was making over $500 a day pressure washing driveways and cleaning gutters. He didn't have some big fancy setup, just used a pressure washer and a ladder, and his customers, they were literally begging him to come back every single season. This is what makes local services so powerful. It's not a trendy side hustle that disappears overnight. It's something people always will need. And the best part is most of these services don't require any certification or special skills to start. If you're looking for something fast and easy to get into, here are some of the best options. Pressure washing. Homeowners will gladly pay $150 to $500 just to have their driveway or house washed. Get a used pressure washer for $300 to $400 and it'll pay itself in a weekend. Gutter cleaning. This is one of the most overlooked but highest profit margin services out there. Homeowners hate cleaning their gutters and they'll pay anywhere from $100 to $300 per job. All you need is a ladder and a pair of gloves. Lawn care. Mowing, edging, and trimming bushes can bring in $50 to $100 per yard per visit. If you get just 10 customers on a bi-weekly schedule, that's an easy $2,000 per month. Next up is junk removal, and this is one of the most overlooked but highest profit margin services out there. Homeowners hate cleaning out attics, basements, and garages, and they'll pay anywhere from $100 to $600 per job. All you need is a truck, some muscle, and a strong work ethic. There's a junk removal business in my town that was started by college students, and you can't go anywhere without seeing their flyers, their bandit signs on the side of the road, or trucks driving around with their logos plastered on the side. They call it college hunks hauling junks, and honestly, it's one of the smartest ideas I've ever seen. The name alone makes you remember them. It's fun, it's catchy, and it's different than the usual XYZ junk removal you see everywhere. And because their marketing is so simple but effective, they became the go-to junk removal services in America. The best part is they started exactly like this, hauling junk out of people's garages, picking up old furniture, and charging a few $100 per job. And now they've turned it into a multi-million-dollar business with franchises all over the country. That's the power of a good business model mixed with smart marketing. And if you can come up with a memorable name, put out bandit signs, and get your first few customers, this side hustle practically grows itself. The crazy thing is, people think you need to be an expert to start one of these businesses, but you really don't. Most homeowners don't care if you're a pro, they just want the job done correctly. And as long as you're reliable and show up on time, they'll keep hiring you. So how do you actually start? First, you pick a service that has demand in your area, then you get the bare minimum equipment. Don't go buying brand new setups before you even have customers. Start small, get a few jobs under your belt, and then reinvest as you go. Next, you should get the word out. Post on Facebook groups, Craigslist, Nextdoor, and community boards. Go old school, print out flyers and stick them on mailboxes in high-end neighborhoods. Offer a first-time discount to get your first few customers, and once you do a great job, ask them to leave a review and then refer you to their friends. Once you start getting consistent customers, you can hire extra help, expand your services, or even add more locations. Some people start as a one-person operation and end up making 6 figures a year just by scaling smartly. And if you really want to start this or any of the other side hustles we're going to talk about in this video, you're going to need a business management software tool like QuoteIQ to automate scheduling, send and receive payments from customers, and track customer jobs. This is the software that I used when I was in college and still use to this day for my businesses. It's easy to use and it's super cheap compared to its competitors. So if you're serious about starting any of these side hustles, make sure that you have a system in place that makes running your business easier, like with QuoteIQ. You can get a link in the comment section down below and check it out for free today. And look, I know people think that manual labor isn't glamorous, but you know what else isn't glamorous? Being broke. There are people out there making more money cutting grass and pressure washing than college graduates make working desk jobs. And at the end of the day, this side hustle is perfect if you want something low risk, high reward, and ridiculously scalable. You can start this today, make money this week, and turn this into a full-blown business within a few months. The next side hustle up is a remote service business, and this is without a doubt one of the most scalable and profitable side hustles that you can start right now. It's the same business model that I started when I was in college, and I was making over $7,000 a month while still full enrolled in classes without ever having to do the actual service work myself, and you can do it completely from your computer. And the best part is this works in any city for almost any service, and once you've set it up, you can run it on autopilot. So here's how it works. You market a service, you generate leads, and then you outsource the actual work to contractors in that industry for a fixed price. You're essentially just the middleman. Now, before you say, wait, isn't that just a marketing agency? Not quite. Most marketing agencies charge a business a fee to run ads and then hope the business can close the leads. But with a remote service business, you're generating the leads, sending it to a contractor, and then they fulfill the service. Then they either pay you an upfront price or a percentage of the job you brought them. And this is why it's so powerful, because you're in control of the entire process. So let me give you an example. Let's say you set up a roofing service in Atlanta, Georgia. You run ads on Facebook, Google Ads, or even set up a website with SEO to generate leads. A homeowner reaches out and you quote them $10,000 for a roofing job. Now, instead of actually going out and doing the work yourself, you find a local roofing company in Atlanta that agrees to do the job. They do the work, the customer is happy, and you just made around anywhere from $500 to $1,000 in profit without ever touching a ladder. Now, multiply that across 10, 20, or 50 jobs per month, and you start seeing how scalable this gets. And once you dial in your ads, your SEO, and your outreach strategy, you can set up different service businesses in different cities and make as much money as you want. So how much money can you realistically make with this? The profit margins are insane compared to traditional businesses. Most contractors are willing to take 80 to 90% of the job price just to have the work brought to them, meaning you're keeping 10 to 20% of every deal without doing the work yourself. Let's say you booked a roof cleaning job at $500. You subcontract it out for 15% of the total price. That's an easy $75 without ever leaving your couch. Depending on the service and how much you scale, if you get just 12 jobs a week, you're looking at around $1,000 in profit per week or $5K per month. And that's just one service in one city. If you expand to multiple services in your city or even multiple services in multiple cities, you can easily scale past 20K per month. And the best part is you're not limited to just one niche. You can do this with roofing, HVAC, plumbing, pressure washing, lawn care, junk removal, painting, and 100 other high-ticket services. So how much time does it actually take? At first, you'll spend a few hours setting everything up, building a website, running ads, and reaching out to contractors. But once you get consistent jobs coming in, your role is really just coordinating bookings and making money. And if you really want to automate everything, you can use tools like the one we talked about, QuoteIQ, which has a feature called InstaQuote. You put it on your website, which allows your customers to get quotes for your service all by themselves. There's no phone calls to you asking about pricing. They do it all by themselves. And when they book, you send a text over to your contractor, making it a seamless interaction. Using tools like QuoteIQ's InstaQuote makes this a business that runs completely on autopilot with a bare minimum time investment on your part. So how do you get started? First, you pick a service that's in high demand. The easiest way to do this is go on Google and type in best home services near me and look at the businesses running ads. If they're paying for ads, it means the demand is there. Next, you find contractors who are already doing the work but don't know how to get consistent jobs. These are the people who will happily take the work for a lower price because they're usually struggling with marketing and just want more customers. Then you set up a simple website, you run ads, or use SEO to start getting leads. Once you have people reaching out, book the jobs, collect payment up front, and send the work to your contractor. This is exactly how I built my remote service business in college. I set up lead generations in multiple cities and I never had to do the actual work. And within a few months, I was making $7K per month while still in school. And I talk about this a lot on my channel. So if you're serious about starting this, I've linked my full blueprint in the comment section and description so you can check that out. To wrap it up, our final business is pretty interesting as well. Everywhere you look, there are boring businesses quietly making money: laundromats, self-storage facilities, parking lots, or even car washes. These businesses might not seem exciting, but there are absolute gold mines. They're reliable, recession-proof, and provide services people will always need. But here's the thing, most of them are stuck in the past. A lot of these businesses are run by older owners who have been doing things the same for decades. They don't have an online presence, they still take cash payments only, and they waste hours doing tasks that could be automated. And that's where you would come in. With just a few modern upgrades, you could significantly boost their profits and take a cut for yourself. You're not running the business, you're just making it run better. Let's take a laundromat, for example. A single laundromat can bring in $300K per year with profit margins between 20 and 30%, but many of them still run on an outdated coin machine and have no online presence. If you set them up with a mobile payment system and an online booking feature and social media ads, you can increase their revenue by thousands of dollars per month. Or take a self-storage facility, another business that prints money but still relies on paper invoices and outdated billing. With softwares like Odo, you could automate their billing process, get rid of the messy cash systems, and make payments 100% online. And here's the best part: you don't charge up front. Instead, you do a profit split. That means you only get paid if the business sees real growth. Let's say you increase a laundromat's annual profits by $50,000. If you negotiate a 20% cut, that's $10,000 in your pocket for one client. At first, it takes a little work to find these businesses that need help, but once you get one or two success stories, you can start charging higher percentages and bigger fees. Business owners love this model because you're not asking them to pay up front for something that might work. You're saying, I'll make you money and I only get paid when you do. The best way to get started here is look for outdated businesses near you. Drive around your city and take note of which businesses don't have websites, still take cash only, or look like they haven't been updated since 2005. Then reach out to the owners, show them how you would help, and offer a no-risk deal where you only get paid if they make money. Once you prove the value to a couple of businesses, this side hustle can turn into a full-time six-figure business. Because at the end of the day, modernizing old businesses is still one of the easiest ways to create new money. So there you have it. 7 side hustles that actually work for college students. And notice something, none of these require you to be rich, have a degree, or even work full-time. You don't need to start some complicated tech startup, you don't need investors, and you definitely don't need to spend years building something before you see results. These are real proven businesses that you can start today. Some of them make money fast, some of them scale into a full-time business, and some of them, if you stick with it, can completely change your financial future. The biggest business mistake that people make is waiting. They watch videos like this, they feel motivated for 10 minutes, and then they do nothing. And a year from now, they're in the exact same place, broke, complaining about money, and wishing they had started something sooner. Personally, I don't care what side hustle you pick, just pick one and start. Even if you fail, you'll learn more in 30 days of trying than in 5 years of thinking about it. And if you're serious about starting a remote service business, the side hustle that I started in college that made me $7,000 a month while fully enrolled, I've linked the full blueprint in the comment section and the description below. It's a step-by-step breakdown of how I set everything up, how you can copy it, and how to scale it to a six-figure business. So go check that out. But at the end of the day, the only thing separating you from people making $1,000 per month isn't intelligence, connections, or luck, it's action. So take action now, and in 6 months, you won't be watching videos about making money, you'll be living it.